the Maha-Ashtami of the ongoing Dasai festival today. With full party yesterday, the festival entered its main days of celebrations. However, considering the ongoing pandemic, the festival has been largely subdued this year. As the lethal coronavirus seems unrelenting, the onus is on the Dasai revelers to celebrate the ongoing festivity more responsibly. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanama and these are the headlines of the hour. Karnali province rejects the no-confidence motion filed against its Chief Minister Mahendra Bahadur Shahi by majority. Leader Kadel questions the validity of the ruling. COVID-19 death toll climbs to 829 with 17 deaths confirmed the past 24 hours. Premier Oli claims the government has not withdrawn support for corona patients. Trump and Biden clash over COVID-19 and racial issues while trading corruption charges in their final live TV debate before November elections. And playoff chances go slimmer for two-times champion Chennai Super Kings as they face a 10-wicket defeat at the Indian Premier League. The novel coronavirus has continued its surge as 4,499 new cases of COVID-19 were confirmed in the country in the past 24 hours. With this, the total number of coronavirus cases has climbed to 153,008. Likewise, the death toll from the novel coronavirus has climbed to 829, with 17 deaths reported in the past 24 hours. According to the Health Ministry, a total of 16,864 swab samples were tested, taking the test tally to over 1.36 million. 2,720 cases were reported from the federal capital, as Kathmandu district alone confirmed 2,357 cases. Lalitpur reported 236 and Bhaktapur witnessed 127 cases. 2,668 individuals registered full recovery in the past 24 hours, taking the national recovery tally to 105,488 as the recovery rate stands at 68.9%. According to the Health Ministry, there are over 46,000 active cases in the country, with 14,964 in isolation centers and 31,727 in home isolation and 3,590 in quarantine facilities. The ministry informed that 69 patients are receiving treatment with ventilator support, while 290 are in intensive care units. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has clarified that the government has not stepped back from treatment for COVID-19 patients. Addressing the nation yesterday to extend his Dasai greetings, Premier Oli said that the government is focused in containing the coronavirus, as he clarified that the government has been offering free PCR tests and treatment for those who cannot afford the cost. However, the Prime Minister did not clarify regarding the cost-free treatment for all the citizens. The government had decided not to offer cost-free test and treatment for COVID-19 except for the population in the lower income group. Premier Oli defended the government's decision with his usual touch of wit, saying that the government had in fact urged people who can afford for test and treatment to contribute for the needy. Urging people to follow health protocol while celebrating the festival, Prime Minister Oli informed that he would not offer Dasai Tika to the public this year amid the pandemic, adding that the dreaded coronavirus could be defeated with a high morale. Moving on, the Parliamentary Party Committee of the ruling Nepal Communist Party has rejected a no-confidence motion filed against Chief Minister of Karnali Province, Mahendra Bahadur Shahi, by a majority. The meeting held yesterday overruled the no-confidence motion lodged against Chief Minister Shahi. 11 provincial lawmakers close to Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli were absent during the meeting. The motion was quashed after lawmakers from senior leader Madhav Kumar Nepal-led faction backed lawmakers from Pushpa Kamal Dahal faction. A faction led by lawmaker Yamlal Kadel, aspirant for the post of Chief Minister, had filed a no-confidence motion against Chief Minister Shahi on 11th of October at the Parliamentary Party. Lawmaker Kadel, meanwhile, termed yesterday's meeting of the Parliamentary Party as invalid, arguing that any decisions made by the Chief Minister Shahi, who was facing a no-confidence motion, would be legally void. Meanwhile, Premier Oli has instructed Chief Minister Shahi to withdraw the action taken against Chief Whip of Karnali Province, Gulab Jang Saab. In his letter to the Chief Minister Shahi, Prime Minister Oli has directed the reinstatement of Shah to the post of Chief Whip. Chief Minister Shahi had appointed Sita Nepali as Chief Whip after the no-confidence motion was registered against him. There used to be a massive crowd of audience at cinema halls during Dashain as producers and distributors used the time to release the cinemas, especially in Nepalese context, during Dashain. However, in the face of the pandemic, theatres across the country are grounded, throwing the entire cinema industry into turmoil.
The cinema halls in the country were shut down in mid-March earlier this year in a bid to stem the spread of novel coronavirus. The theatres since then have remained closed as the country braved through first lockdown, followed by the prohibitory orders. Even as the government has completely lifted the lockdown and the prohibitory orders, the theatres have remained shut as they are most likely to pull crowds against the government health protocol to clamp down on the spread of COVID-19. There are some 150 cinema halls across the country, including 25 in the Kathmandu Valley. With all the film activities coming to a standstill for the past 7 months, actors and technicians in the field have remained jobless all this time. Meanwhile, some of the Nepalese cinemas that were all ready to be launched into the silver screen are still waiting for the pandemic to recede. Given the scenario, Nepal Motion Picture Development Board is also likely to face a hard time managing a new schedule for the screening of the films. Nepalese film industry is among the sectors that have been devastated by the coronavirus pandemic. Even as all the attention has been on reviving travel and tourism sector, there is a general call on the government to do the needful for the cinema industry as well.
Around 3,200 hectares of land in Kanchanpur has been encroached upon. In this context, in our Public Voice segment, we had asked the locals in Mahendranagar what could be the reason behind failure in relocation of foreign land encroachers. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
सुकुम्बासी आयोगले के गरे भने जंगलकै लाल पूर्जा बाँड दिए हैन राजनीतिक खोल ओडेका भूमाफियाले जंगलकै लाल पूर्जा बाँड दिइसकेपछि अहिले अब जंगलमै मान्छेहरुको बसोबास हुने
यहाँको राजनीतिक दल एकजुट नभइकन यो समस्या समाधान चाहिँ हुन सक्दैन
राज्यको भूमि सम्बन्धी के नीति बनेको छ त्यसको कार्यान्वयन पक्ष एकदम फितलो छ
वन क्षेत्रबाट हटायो भन्ने पनि सुन्यौ हामीले तर हटाउँदाखेरि पनि फेरि पुनः त्यहाँ बस्ने अवस्था चाहिँ राजनीतिक पार्टीहरुबाट नै भएको छ
नेताहरुले आफ्नो भोट बचाउनलाई र आफूलाई सुरक्षित पार्नलाई त्यसकारणले गर्दा यिनीहरुले चाहिँ अहिले अतिक्रमण जो बढ्दो क्रममा छ अहिले जस्तो निकुञ्जमा नि बढ्दो क्रममा छ तर त्यहाँ पनि कोही बोल्दैन
राज्यको सम्पत्तिको संरक्षण गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने देखिएन र यो भोटको राजनीति हाबी भएर हटाउँदाखेरि चाहिँ भोलिको आफ्ना मतहरु घट्ने यो हुने अब राजनीतिक आस्थामा चाहिँ समस्या आउने भन्ने भाव नै हो जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ
Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, how do you feel is the best way to celebrate this year's Dashain festival? Your options are A, being confined indoors, B, avoiding gathering, and C, spending time with books and movies. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Those are our latest headlines. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead.